Action here at Lyddon this weekend in the Toyo Tyres Motorsport UK British Rallycross Championship from the RX150s. A bigger entry than we had last time out at Silverstone, and that means more action. Touring car and GT ace Tom Onslow-Cole makes a guest appearance. He's been quickest across qualifying. Chrissy Palmer struggling with electrical problems. So the grid for the final is set then. On pole position is going to be Tom Onslow-Cole. Steve Jones lining up with him at the front of the grid, and John Armstrong, rally driver turned E-rally driver, on the outside of row 1 ahead of Brett Harris and Kevin Feeney. And Chrissy Palmer, having a very difficult day indeed, will go from row 3. Grid is formed, we are set to go racing. When the lights blink green, it's blast off. Palmer doesn't go anywhere, nor does Feeney. They clashed, remember, early on at Silverstone, but it is going to be then Tom Onslow-Cole versus Steve Jones versus John Armstrong for the race win. This is Armstrong's view. It was a late opportunity to come and do this event. He seized that opportunity with both hands, and John Armstrong has the advantage. Onslow-Cole behind him. Across the loose they come. Mark Scott, round 1 winner, missing this as John Armstrong leads the way. Jones goes up in a second, and TOC, Tom Onslow-Cole here, tries to find a way round on the outside at the Devil's Elbow. That gives him the inside line into the hairpin. He goes second, and he goes for the race lead as well now. Tom Onslow-Cole in the car with a green nose, gets up the inside. Is this going to be the race lead for him? Let's see, it should be. John Armstrong braves it out on the outside line, and he has to give way. Onslow-Cole goes through, they clamber up the curb to the Joker, then goes Jones, also Brett Harris. That's the delayed Kevin Feeney, and a hugely sideways Steve Jones flings the car now towards the Joker lap section. Brett Harris is behind him, brother racing supercars, dad in the retro class. Here's the race lead battle. Tom Onslow-Cole ahead. He was racing a GT Mercedes in the wet at Monza a week ago. Now in the sunshine on a very different discipline. Rallycross at Lyddon. Right behind him though is John Armstrong, the Northern Irishman, looks for the inside line. Onslow-Cole leaves him room, and through should go Armstrong here. Gets up the inside, they're wheel to wheel as they plunge downhill, almost touching. John Armstrong goes through and he picks up the race lead, but Onslow-Cole will fight back, and that is Chrissy Palmer in all sorts of trife. The electrical dramas that have plagued him for the last couple of years have really come to a head today, and he's out of the action. So drama at Silverstone, big drama at Lyddon for Chrissy Palmer. He got himself up to third at Silverstone, but here it's going to be a retirement seemingly as TOC, Tom Onslow-Cole, heads out of that Joker section. Remember, the Joker lap is new to RX150 Rallycross this year. So Onslow-Cole stays ahead of Steve Jones, so crucially that keeps track position for him. Into the Devil's Elbow, sawing away at the wheel. These 1000cc motorbike engine RX150s. Onslow-Cole's car, the nose hitting the ground as he stands on the brakes for the hairpin. Across the loose then comes the purple car, John Armstrong on his own now, but he goes for the Joker lap this time. So he's got to be error-free and see whether he can blend back in ahead of Tom Onslow-Cole in this 6-lap final. Onslow-Cole in turn, and he's got Steve Jones behind him. Armstrong, he's hard at work, they're going to be together, and he will lose out to Onslow-Cole, who goes through and takes over the race lead on the Joker lap. Tom Onslow-Cole picks up the lead, goes a little bit deep into the Devil's Elbow, and Armstrong is all sideways, and off the road behind them is Jones, way out wide through the gravel. Onslow-Cole went in too fast, so did Armstrong, and Jones went in even quicker. He's the one that comes off worse, so he loses touch with the top two. Onslow-Cole now, though, has to go defensive. Comes down the hill. Onslow-Cole, no strangers in this discipline, and he's going to go deep, I fear, into paddock, and there's contact. He gets mugged from behind. Armstrong into the back of him. The two cars interlock, come to a halt, and that means that Steve Jones and now Brett Harris both go through. Steve Jones lead, Brett Harris into second place, and can the others rejoin from there? Steve Jones is the new race leader, but he's got Brett Harris breathing down his neck, and Steve Jones, despite being a stalwart RX150 racer, has never had a win. Onslow-Cole is trying to get going again. He does get away, but a long way down the order now, and John Armstrong may have a case to answer in all of that. He's got going also, but it was John Armstrong, the aggressor, trying to find a gap that really wasn't there, that got into the back of Onslow-Cole and turned him around. You might argue that Onslow-Cole had gone a little bit deep into the corner and an opportunity presented. Either way, neither of them come out with a decent result. Steve Jones leads the pack down through paddock, and Brett Harris in second place, just starting to drop away ever so slightly now. They've got one more lap to go, and Harris is speeding up once again. He's getting back onto terms with the leader. BLDC member Tom Onslow Cole heading down the hill, catching back up onto the tail of the slow starting Kevin Feeney, so he might gain a place here before the very end of the race. For the race lead though, Steve Jones, despite making that error here a couple of laps ago, leads the way, and he almost makes another error, doesn't he, as he gets sideways this time. Heads up the hill, right on his tail, Brett Harris, but there's no gap. 2 corners to go, this is one of them, out of the hairpin, and now the plunge down that steep descent towards paddock. Brett Harris not really close enough to make a lunge up the inside. They turn now into paddock, puff of tyre smoke as Steve Jones locks up, but he's about to come through to score a maiden RX150 win. Steve Jones does it. Jones wins here at Lyddon. Second across the line after a really hard charge is Brett Harris. Kevin Feeney is on his way home as well after that slow start. Well, at least he's managed to escape penalties and problems like he did at Silverstone, but I'm afraid for a normal front runner out of the RX150 class, Kevin Feeney has not had a great day. So after all the dramas, let's confirm those results. A win for Steve Jones ahead of Brett Harris. Kevin Feeney a very distant third. Onslow Cole fourth, a lap down. John Armstrong and Chrissy Palmer not getting to the end. In the championship, Steve Jones now has the advantage. 7 points clear of Brett Harris. Kevin Feeney next. The cars head to Pembrey and a double header next time out.